Okay, ladies, just a reminder, lighting is everything. Okay, how are we? Welcome back. Okay, happy Frenchy Friday. Happy Frenchy Friday. Good morning, Allison. Good morning, Elaine. Who else is here? All right. I love it. Rebonjour, y'all. Rebonjour. So I think we're going to be leaving tomorrow. I'm excited. And I'm actually, Lucy's licking her paws. I'm actually a little bit sad in a beautiful way because we've been living now in for over a month. Kind of gotten used to the people and the port and the views, but it's going to be beautiful. Like Mark Twain says, right? Leave the safe harbor. So it's time. It's time. It's time. Alexandra, cuckoo. All right, let us move into today. I'll trust everybody can find the new one. All right. Happy Frenchy Friday. Let's bring forward the energy of the Frenchie. Again, if you're new to Elegant Femme, we've got you. If you want to take the Femme types deeper, the Frenchie being the Femme type that supports us in the awareness, the permission, the prioritization of pleasure, of joy, of beauty, allowing ourselves to feel good, letting go of the idea of punishment, letting go of the idea that we have to work hard to prove that it's okay for us to feel good or to feel joy. That place inside of us that in the past may have upper limited the amount of joy, the amount of goodness, the amount of beauty that's available to us in our lives for whatever reason. Bringing forward the Frenchie energy and feeling pleasure. And feeling pleasure in your mind and allowing your body to follow. See if that's available to you. As you breathe in and breathe out, feeling pleasure in your mind. It's safe to feel good. I feel good. I feel good. I feel joy. I feel happy. And allow your body to follow. Breathing in. Breathing out. Sending the message, sending the direction, sending the leadership from your mind to your body. I feel good. I feel beautiful. I feel whole. I feel joyful. I feel happy. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take it up a notch in your own way, with your own chant, in whatever way that feels good to you. I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. Breathing in. Breathing out. I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. One more time. Breathing in. And breathing out. I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. Letting that beautiful opening flood throughout your entire body. Again, connecting first and foremost in your mind. Father, Mother, God, Lord of all creation, we commit right here and right now to feel good, to have an awesome day, to allow the joy, the beauty, the happiness to overflow in all ways. We remember where we reside. We take control and claim once again our power, knowing that it's never left. We feel the light, we extend the light, and we receive the light. This or something even better for the highest good of all concerned. Amen. Amen. There's a little much going on now. Lighting situation. All right. Who feels good? Who feels good? All right. So if you were ever with us inside of 40 Days of Gratitude with a Twist, you may have heard me share my family's mantra. This is something I started when the boys were really little, when they were getting ready for school or whatever it might be, and we would do a little song, who's gonna have an awesome day? And then we would go through the family and we would say everybody's name. Everybody's name. And even the dogs. And everyone would get involved and you could feel the energy immediately shift. So what I want to bring forward today and invite you to remember is that your body does follow your mind. What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself, I'm tired? Are you telling yourself, I don't feel good? Are you telling yourself, and again, this isn't about a spiritual bypass. It really is about consciously directing your power, your intention of where you want it to be. I feel good. I feel so good. I feel energized. I feel happy. I feel relaxed. I feel calm. I feel excited. I feel grateful. Send that message to your body. So, who's going to have an awesome day? Elaine's going to have an awesome day. Who's going to have an awesome day? Allison's going to have an awesome day. Who's going to have an awesome day? Alexandra's going to have an awesome day. Who's going to have an awesome day? Lucy's going to have an awesome day. Who's going to have an awesome day? Ilona's going to have an awesome day. Who's going to have an awesome day? Joe's going to have an awesome day. And is this Harmon? I'm going to say Harmon. Who's going to have an awesome day? Harmon's going to have an awesome day. Who's going to have an awesome day? Karen's going to have an awesome day. And if you come on later, do this please for yourself. Who's going to have an awesome day? I'm going to have an awesome day. Feel it. Feel it, feel it, feel it. I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. Oh. Right, Lou? All right, Dave. Were you ready for all that? Yes. He's not the least bit surprised by me anymore, ladies. I don't know if there's anything I could do that could surprise Dave Marino. Dance in the kitchen, cartwheels in the kitchen, splits in the kitchen. He's like, I love you, babe. All right, beauties. Lesson 72. Lesson 72. Yesterday was so good, right? What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? Only God's plan for salvation will work. Today, Lesson 72. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Again, if we simplify the words, holding any fear, any againstness inside in any way towards someone else or towards ourselves, knowing that it's really always towards ourselves, is a attack, a distance, a protection, a pushing away. Let's say that, a pushing away of God's plan for salvation, of God's plan for our healing, of God's plan for our remembering. While we have recognized that the ego's plan for salvation is the opposite of God's plan, we have not yet emphasized that it is an attack on God's plan, an active attack on God's plan, and a deliberate attempt to destroy it. So again, breathing in, breathing out, the place inside that says, this feels really negative. I have not been consciously trying to attack God's plan. Like, what are you talking about? The buying into the separation, the putting our energy in a prioritization that is not love, that is not true, that is not full of light, the buying into the false belief that anything outside of ourselves can buy us happiness, can give us happiness. Okay, this is the conversation. In the attack, God is assigned the attributes which are actually associated with the ego, while the ego appears to take on the attributes of God. So let's just listen and hear this and feel this. The ego's fundamental wish is to replace God. In fact, the ego is the physical embodiment of that wish. For it is that wish that seems to surround the body with a mind, keeping it separate and alone, and unable to reach other minds except through the body that was made to imprison it. The limit on communication cannot be the best means to expand communication. Yet the ego would have you believe that it is. I'm just going to invite you to feel that there's actually freedom in that. Moving beyond the ego's idea and perception that the only means of communication is through the body. The Course is sharing that that's what the ego would like you to believe, that the only way to communicate is through the body. The Course is saying that is not true at all. The Course shares that the body can be and is utilized as a means of communication and love, but it is not the only means of communication. Thank God. Truly thank God. When we leave the physical body, we are not gone. Our opportunity to communicate, to share love, to expand is not gone. We are not limited by the body and the physical space. Not after we die, not after the physical body dies, or when we're here. We are not limited. Our communication is not limited by the body. Anyone right now, let's honor this. Think of someone right now. Anyone, just let it come up. Anyone. And I want you to right now, I'm inviting you right now to communicate with them. Through your mind, whatever you want to send them, a loving message, a special vision. Feel them, communicate with them, think of them, bring them forward inside of your consciousness. And let's just spend about 30 seconds, really focused communication, light expansion, whatever you want to share with them. Okay. Now let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens with that. You let me know on Monday what happens. Although the attempt to keep the limitations that a body would impose is obvious here, it is perhaps not so apparent why holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. But let us consider the kinds of things you are apt to hold grievances for. Are they not always associated with something a body does? A person says something you don't like. They do something that displeases you. They betray their hostile thoughts in their behavior. You are not dealing here with what the person is. On the contrary, you are exclusively concerned with what they do in a body. You are doing more than failing to help in freeing them from the body's limitations. So the Course is sharing, when we see someone as just a body, when we are holding grievances, and it says the only way to, the grievances that we hold are always in the form of the physical. They did this, they said this, and that when we're in that space, we are only seeing that person as a body. We are limiting who they are and only witnessing them in the physical. We are not seeing through them to the truth of who they are, which is not a body. It is light. It is love. And in that limitation, we are limiting them and ourselves from witnessing who we really are. We are stopping on the surface. And in that, what the Course is sharing, we are imprisoning ourselves and them. And the Course is saying that that's an attack on God's plan, that we're not actually supporting the remembering. We are contributing to the illusion of separation. Are you with me? Just breathe in and breathe out. Again, no need to intellectualize. Just feel the freedom that's here. You are actively trying to hold them to it by confusing it with them, okay? The body. And judging them as one. Herein is God attacked. For if, I'm just going to say his son, okay? For if his son is only a body, so must he be as well. So saying, if we see each other as only bodies, God must be only a body as well, because we are one. A creator wholly unlike his creation is inconceivable. So again, God is the creator, we're the creation, we are one. So if we are seeing ourselves as only a body, we're buying into the illusion that God is only a body as well. If God is a body, what must God's plan for salvation be? What could it be but death? Because the body does die. You feeling this? Just see if you can start to feel an unraveling inside. Again, without needing to understand. See if there are places inside that are considering even the what if I, what if I let that, just see. In trying to present himself as the author of life and not death, he is a liar and a deceiver, full of false promises and offering illusions in place of truth. So again, it can feel very wordy. It can feel very religious. It can feel very negative. Maybe not to all of you, but I know for me that this was certainly a lesson where I was like, I think I'm good. So if we just easily, gracefully see through the lens, what it's saying is if we buy into the illusion that we are only a body, if we buy into the illusion that anyone around us is only a body, we are not supporting the fullness of truth. We are buying into the illusion that God is a body as well. And if we buy into that illusion, we're buying into the illusion that there's only death. Because the body, as we know, does complete. The physical body completes. And any grievance, meaning any form of separation that we buy into, contributes to that illusion. Okay? All right. The body's apparent reality makes this view of God quite convincing. Yeah, that's true. Right? We've all had that experience. You see the body, we think that that's all we are, that's all that life is. All of us have had loved ones who are no longer in the physical space, and certainly it can feel like that. Certainly can. In fact, if the body were real, it would be difficult indeed to escape this conclusion. Now, you might be like, the body is real. Like I'm sitting here, I'm holding this book, I'm looking at you. Real. Real meaning everlasting. Okay? And we know that that is not true. The body is here for a temporary amount of time, but we live on because we are not our body. This is what the Course is sharing. And every grievance that you hold insists that the body is real. So again, if you look at yourself or at anyone else, and you look at the grievances that the Course is speaking to, which means any form of upset through the lens of the body, which is, I don't like what they did, I don't like what they said, we're limiting it, we're limiting the truth, and we're buying into the illusion. It overlooks entirely what your brother or sister is. We stop on the surface when we buy into that. It reinforces your belief that he or she is a body and condemns them for it. Again, we've all done this, and we do it to ourselves. When you feel that in the grievances, the attack thoughts, the separation, the frustration, the criticism for yourself, you're doing the same when you buy into the illusion that you are only a body. And it asserts that his salvation must be death, projecting this attack onto God and holding him responsible for it. And it buys into the illusion that healing, the only form of healing, must be death. And then projecting that thought onto God. Okay, because again, if the Creator and the creation are one. And if we buy into the illusion that we are a body, we buy into illusion that God is a body, and we know the body dies. This is what the Course is sharing. That the ego believes in this limitation, that we are only a body, and that that's finite. And if we're only a body, God's only a body. And since the body dies, then God means death. Okay? This is what the Course is sharing. That this is the illusion that the ego would have us believe that keeps us in a state of limitation and also fear. And I believe if we can be really honest with ourselves, we have all felt this fear, the fear of the body dying, that we have made choices in our lives based on the fear that we don't want to die. And held back our light, our truth. And when I say die, there's the there's the full physicality of the body transitioning, but there are also other fears that can feel like death: criticism, humiliation, being misunderstood, being judged. All of these are ways with which we limit and exist in fear. And we do it to ourselves, and we do it to those around us. To this carefully prepared arena, okay, I had no idea this lesson was coming. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm with you. I promise you I'm with you. We've got this. We've got this. We've got this. To this carefully prepared arena where angry animals seek for prey and mercy cannot enter, the ego comes to save you. This is a little mocky, the tone, a little bit, okay, in my opinion. God made you a body very well. Let us accept this and be glad. As a body, do not let yourself be deprived of what the body offers. Take the little you can get. God gave you nothing. The body is your only savior. If the death of God, it is the death of God and your salvation. So it's saying that this is the voice of the ego. This is how the ego would have you see through the world. You're only a body. That's all you are. You might as well use it. You're going to die anyway. You've got to protect yourself. Okay, this is what it's sharing. This is the universal belief of the world you see. Some hate the body and try to hurt and humiliate it. Others love the body and try to glorify and exalt it. But while the body stands at the center of your concept of yourself, you are attacking God's plan for salvation and holding your grievances against God and God's creation, that you might not hear the voice of truth and welcome it as a friend. Your chosen Savior takes God's place instead. It is your friend. He is your enemy. So, with the intention of Spirit's assistance to simplify it, when we choose in direction of the ego, buying into the illusion and the limitation that we are only a body, when we live there, when we exist there, when we buy into that illusion, we are not allowing the truth of life to come through. We are in a space of separation, and the Course is saying then we're in attack with God. Underneath all of this, there's no way you could really be in attack with God because all of it is an illusion anyway. So breathe through what it is that the Course is saying and see if you can just allow, again, listening to your inner teacher, whatever is congruent. This is about you activating your own inner truth. For me, reading through this the very first time and now again with you, just looking at, okay, I can see inside of myself the limitation that the ego and my ego, the ego, it's not my ego, that's not correct to say, the ego, because I don't want to take ownership of it, and neither do you, that the ego sees limitation inside the body. And that when we buy into that limitation, when we hold on to any grievances around towards ourselves or others, when we're seeing that way, we're in separation. We're not in love. We're buying into the illusion that we are only a body and nothing else, meaning that we're buying into the illusion that we will die fully, that we'll be gone. And the Course is saying that's not true. The ego wants you to believe that to keep you in fear, to keep you in separation, to keep you in a state of delusionment that just pour yourself into the body because that's all you are. That's where your safety lies. Protect yourself. And the Course is saying, no, that's not true. And when you exist there, you're existing in limitation and separation. Okay? How are we? Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. Some hate the body and try to hurt and humiliate it. Others love the body and try to glorify and exalt it. But while the body stands at the center of your concept of yourself, you are attacking God's plan for salvation and holding your grievances against God and God's creation, that you may not hear the voice of truth and welcome it as your friend. Your chosen Savior takes its place instead. It is your friend. He is your enemy. So again, choosing the ego over God, choosing fear over love. We will try today to stop these senseless attacks on salvation. We will try to welcome it instead, welcome the truth instead. Your upside down perception has been ruinous to your peace of mind. Yeah. You have seen yourself in a body and the truth outside you, locked away from your awareness by the body's limitations. Now we are going to try to see this differently. God, help me see this differently. The light of truth is in us, where it was placed by God. It is the body that is outside us. It is the body that is outside us and is not our concern, meaning not our prioritization, meaning not the obsession to pour ourselves into. An awareness, a communication tool. Okay? To be without a body is to be in our natural state. How does that feel? Is there a piece of you that's like, oh, that feels freeing? I want to know I'm more than just a body. I want to know I'm not limited to this physical space. I want to know that my value, my self-worth isn't dependent on my body. Can I enjoy my body? Is it a communication tool for experiences? Am I here to play the game right now at this particular point in time with a body as a form of awakening? Yes. But is that all you are? No. No. Is there freedom in that for you? To recognize the light of truth in us is to recognize ourselves as we are. To see ourselves as separate from the body is to end the attack on God's plan for salvation and to accept it instead. And wherever God's plan is accepted, it is accomplished already. Our goal in the longer practice periods today is to become aware that God's plan for salvation has already been accomplished in us. So that's why I said earlier, the attack, and it's all an illusion. It's all an unraveling. Okay? Everything's already true and whole inside of you. Okay? There's a remembering that's taking place. So if there's any friction of like, oh my gosh, what you're already all good. Okay? It's a remembering that's occurring. To achieve this goal, we must replace attack with acceptance. As long as we attack it, we cannot understand what God's plan for us is. We are therefore attacking what we do not recognize. Now we are going to try to lay judgment aside and ask what God's plan for us is. What is salvation, Father? What is salvation, God? What is remembering, God? What is healing, God? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Letting go of the intellect, letting go of the need to know, asking and listening. Then we will wait in quiet for God's answer. We have attacked God's plan for salvation without waiting to hear what it is. We have shouted our grievances so loudly that we have not listened to God's voice. We have used our grievances to close our eyes and stop our ears. Now we would see and hear and learn. What is salvation, God? Ask and you will be answered. Seek and you will find. We are no longer asking the ego what salvation is. We are no longer asking the ego for our peace. We are no longer asking the ego for our healing. We are no longer asking the ego for our remembering, because it's not in another person. It's not in anything outside of us. We're no longer asking that direction. We are asking it of truth. Be certain then that the answer will come because of whom you ask. Whenever you feel your confidence wane and your hope of success flicker and go out, repeat your question and your request, remembering that you are asking of the infinite creator of infinity who created you like itself. What is remembering, God? What is healing, God? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. God will answer. Be determined to hear. 1 or perhaps 2 shorter practice periods an hour will be enough for today, since they will be somewhat longer than usual. These exercises should begin with this. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me accept it instead. What is salvation, God? Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me accept it instead. Let me receive it instead. Let me not know. I don't know. Let me admit that I don't know, that I'm in the divine unknowing. What is remembering, God? Tell me. I'm here. I'm listening. Then wait a minute or two in silence, preferably with your eyes closed, and listen for God's answer. I am so grateful that we are moving through this together, because this is certainly one of the lessons that can feel confusing, negative, heavy in some places if we let it. If we create the distance, if we really ask inside, what is the Course really saying underneath the verbiage? Again, remembering that it was written, channeled through a human, a soul having a human experience, utilizing the language that was coming through, right? So there's no need for us to attach to any word or any kind of squeezing of intellectual comprehension, and we can pull it back. We can see through a different lens. We can share with ourselves, like, okay, I can certainly see that I have bought into the illusion in the past that I am limited by my body, and that when I see anyone through the lens of just a body, when I see them and limit my understanding of them by seeing them as only a body and holding on to the grievances that they said this, they did this, that I'm buying into the illusion of the ego and keeping myself separate. When I see beyond the illusion of a body, when I look at someone and I know that they are not what they just said or what they did or what they didn't do, and I move past that and I let go of harboring any againstness. I let go of attack. I see them as so much more than a body. I don't limit them to that or hold on to that limitation. Now we're both free. That's what it's sharing. How is this feeling? Really, anybody still here? Were you like, I think today is my last lesson, I'm out? Karen, very much with you. Very clear and relevant for me right now, though the light is winning. Good. Interesting that the clearing of the illusion is to enable the light through us has simultaneously been coinciding with my greater healing. Yeah, not surprising at all. Yeah. Oh, good. Stephanie! To me, this feels as light. I mean, as the opposite of heavy, freedom, liberation of heaviness. Ah, Karen, remembering tears of joy. Così bellissimo. All right, beauties. Whether you're here with me live or listening to the replay, I encourage you to really allow this lesson in whatever way that serves you, moving beyond any limitation that may present itself and into the space of your power, the truth, the expansion of who you truly, truly, truly are. Thank you so much for being with me inside of these spaces, for devoting yourself to the remembering, to the patience of showing up here together every day, especially when there's resistance, especially when the ego would prefer that we buy into the illusion of confusion and look outside of ourselves for peace, for happiness, for comfort. Thank you for showing up here. Again, whether you're here with me live, you're here in the replay, you're here a decade or 2 decades from now. Because in truth, it's timeless. It's timeless. And I want you to know that I see you, I love you, I appreciate you, and I encourage you to consider this lesson as a relief, as a support. And that as you move through the practice period, you really do ask and listen. I do not know. Tell me, what is healing? What is remembering? And feel it. Feel the presence of the light in your body. Let it move through you and extend to everyone. I love you. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I will see you on Monday. Let us send light for wherever we're going to be in the world on Monday. It should be fun to connect. We'll be sailing somewhere. All right. Happy Frenchy Friday. I love you all. Bye-bye.